it's a matter of a deadline for me, it seems like, I mean, even when we're talking now, it's like, well, we could probably talk until midnight, but we just can't, you know? And the fact of the matter is, I wonder if the ultra success that first Boston record had gave him all the power, right? I mean,
Well, I would think so. I mean, because he produced it and wrote it and was kind of in the driver's seat out of the box. So I'm sure that it did. But he's that type of a personality where he will sit and work on something. I remember there were times when we would rehearse one song,
hmm
for 8 hours.
mm.
And then start back on that song again, and it wasn't even one of the best songs in the set. And I remember making the comment, like, politely saying, "Tom, what do you think about maybe we just cut the song from the set?"
Yeah.
And
Right.
Tom says, and I don't think he thought of that, and he said, "You know what? I think that's a great idea," and we did. Problem solved
Problem solved.
in like 2 minutes.
And your throat's bleeding.
Right, exactly, and it's I think it's because Tom's such a perfectionist. He strives for perfection, and to the point where it can kind of unfortunately drive you insane.
Right, but
And
art is so not perfect. So, where do what is all that? I mean, I guess it's coming to a balance inside yourself to go, you know what? This is where I am at this moment, and
exactly,
like you said, like that 8 hours is just gonna tear you apart. Really, I mean, it's just gonna suck your soul dry.
exactly, and I tend to do that too. I don't think about the whole picture. I just think about, oh my God,
Right.
okay, we've got 14 songs on this record, and song number 14 isn't worked out yet. What are we going to do?
Right.
And then, 2 weeks later of busting can, someone will say, well, the label only wanted 13 songs.
Right.
And I'll think to myself, oh my God, yeah.
Right.
I don't think of those things because I'm so tunnel vision.
Well, it always sort of makes me laugh, and you talked about it monetarily, but even when it comes to time, you hear about how a band put a record together in their garage and it took them 8 days. And then 3 records later, it takes them 3 weeks to mic the drums.
Right.
And I just sort
Yeah.
of go, really?
Yeah. Well, that's because I have the answers for that. That's because you're always trying to outdo the last record, and you're getting a lot of pressure from the label to do just that. There are some examples of bands that spend years to make their first record and then weeks to make their. I mean, we're a good example of that. We spent on In God We Trust. We spent 6-7 months producing that record. Now we go and make records in less than 2 months. I mean, we've got a system down. We used to spend $600,000. We did on that album. We make records now for $20,000.